great to be here on the show floor. I'm coming to you here from the Cisco booth. It's another year of partnering with NWC as technology partner and really bringing all of the network services to this show. It's been a fun over 14 years. And what we do is we basically bring the latest networking technologies, wireless technologies, things like OpenRoaming, build out the show network, and then throughout the year, they leverage that show network for the rest of the conferences that are here at the Fira Barcelona. What's amazing is the amount of data that we can get from the access points and from our Wi-Fi infrastructure is allowing us to actually evolve our technologies as well and deliver even new innovative services over time. So if you think about the future of AI, which is what we're talking about here, the ability to understand who's using the network, how they're using the network, and offer even more and better services to the customers that are here is what we're here to do.
Mobile World Congress is not just an event, it is really the event for the industry. This conference brings together the industry's best minds, the biggest innovators in the area of networking, wireless infrastructure, Wi-Fi, routing, optical, applications developers, and service providers. And the one thing that links all of us is having a robust, secure network. And Fira and Cisco have worked together for many years in partnership to bring together this network that all of the participants here rely on. I think as we think about the week that we're here, this is really not just a week, it's really a window into the future. We get to look at some really, really interesting applications for things like AI that are emerging and reliant on having a foundational network, a network that is secure and robust. And I think as we think about data as really the thing that will enable AI, when we can collect data that is used in the network, we can use that data to provide us with insights that will allow us to take action and provide the users of this network with a better experience. And that's really what the future of networking is all about.
Thanks so much, Bill and Kevin. I'm now standing with Matt McPherson and the Fira Barcelona team, and we're really going to talk about why the Fira Barcelona is so special, especially in terms of connectivity. So I'll come to you first, Matt.
Sure, thank you. And you're standing in one of my favorite rooms, because here you see around in these screens really what's happening on the network in all 8 halls. So we've had this 15-year relationship between the Fira de Barcelona and the work that we're doing here with Cisco. And I have to say it's been an amazing journey. What we love about working with the Fira, really more than anything else, is their desire to implement new technologies to improve the experience for the attendees, what's happening with the exhibitors, to really get the most out of the show. It's great to be able to come here and just to learn about new technology while we're using the very technology that we're talking about, especially at a show like this in GSMA. Now, I just wanted to make one interesting point. This is a wireless show. And so we have all the execs, all the people that are coming out here have all the latest technology. So we see the latest technology connecting into the network. They're demonstrating the latest technology, the latest innovations. And because of that, we get a view 2 years into the future on what's going to happen in other venues and other dense locations around the world. So what happens today, we can build for the next generation of networks based on this. So it's quite exciting working with the Fira, and we can't say thank you enough.
Same for us. We are very pleased to work with you, Cisco. As you know, we are growing fast in hands with our clients, and very soon we're gonna have more venues, and we're gonna need your help to have all this good connectivity that we are enjoying in, for example, at Mobile World Congress.
Mark, what do you think? How do you see it?
Well, for our clients, we need the help of Cisco in 2 aspects. Mainly to better operate our venue. So there's a lot of back office done, which the client cannot see, but is streamlined thanks to the help of the network. And on the other side, to give to the client more services through this network. And thanks to Cisco, we are capable of giving state-of-the-art services with the last technology. And as Matt has commented, we already think in 5 years to come what they will need and with which technology we can give satisfaction to them. So we are always trying to innovate and to rethink what we are doing thanks to technology.
Yes, we've spoken about the technology, why it's important. Obviously, a venue such as the Fira, huge number of people pass Fira, especially Mobile World Congress. How are we working and looking at sort of using both 5G and Wi-Fi to densify their connectivity and get them a really great experience?
Yeah, so the first thing I wanted to say is look, we know networking. So we know how to connect a lot of people in a venue like this. But the amount of information that I've learned from this team is all the back office things, smoothly letting, 90,000 plus people come through on the first day of the event. So for us at Cisco to understand some of those demands and then what we have to achieve with the network, it's quite daunting, right? It's a big thing to achieve. So we're very, very excited about it. So how do we do it? Well, it starts with 1,800 APs. 1,800 APs that we place on the ceilings. Now, if you have a big open venue like this, one of the problems you have, of course, is that the RF is just bouncing all over the place. So you can't come here the week before and measure the RF characteristics, because what happens is within 1 week, we have all these booths. How many booths do we have this year at the?
2,500.
2,500 booths. They go up in 1 week,
Yep.
right? And guess what happens? All the RF characteristics change. Everything starts reflecting in different ways. And so the network has to be very agile in how it tunes to this to make sure that it's giving the best experience. Because remember that the Fira is monetizing the network connectivity for the exhibitors, while at the same time providing the best experience possible for all the people that come flooding in that first day of the event and every day after that. So 1,800 APs, the switching infrastructure, and an incredible amount of internet connectivity to handle all of that traffic.
And Matt, what is very important is that our collaboration always begin with a test, always begin with a pilot, with a test bed in a certain part of our venue before spreading this technology out throughout our venue. So this is a continuous process of improvement, test, mistakes, rethink. So this is, I think, is a key part of the innovation.
Carlos, what are your thoughts about what you're seeing on the network?
You know, from our perspective, we think that 5G and Wi-Fi are not competitors, but rather complementary services and technologies. So for us, it's really important to provide to all our stakeholders the best connectivity possible. We got obviously exhibitors, as Matt said. Those exhibitors need a reliable and secure connectivity. Those are provided through the Wi-Fi network, through our infrastructure. And then we have obviously attendees that are coming through the venue, around probably more than 100,000 people in this show for this edition. So those probably needs as well good LTE 5G connectivity. So we look for giving them to all of them of the stakeholders the best connectivity possible here. So we are thinking on deliver the best service to them.
Yeah, and just to play on that a little bit. So as of about 7 years ago, I mean, what's typical in these types of events, since all the demos and the booth activity is really dependent on the connectivity, if something goes wrong, what happens? Then they file a ticket and then they ask for their money back.
Yeah.
So in the last 7 years, how often did we have to do that?
We luckily, and we would like to touch wood and everything. We do not refund any money since 7 years. So. For us, it's really important that factor, let's say, but because it shows that we are doing a good job, and the products that we have, the service that we are offering is good. To be honest with you, it's really hard to manage this network. It's not easy, as you said, around 2,000 antennas in the venue. So, and a lot of people connected at the same time, concurrent. everybody wants to do their own demos, their own showcase. So it's really hard for us to get the best connectivity to them, and we achieve it. So that's the goal.
So if we then switch to talk about the attendees then, how are you measuring success with the attendees? Is it in a similar pattern, no news is good news, or are you kind of getting some metrics off the network? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, there's a little bit of both. So obviously what we're doing is we're monitoring the network all the time. It's one of the reasons why we like to show all the screens that we do in here. Now, of course, we're showing the screens in here because we love to show customers what's going on in the network. All these screens are in the actual operational NOC, and they're watching anything that might go awry. And so if anything happens, or even if we start to push an edge, they can pick it up right away and they can address it before it becomes an issue. So the idea is to be very proactive. So we're doing a couple of things. We're collecting analytics from the device. So we know the device experience, and we're doing that with many partners like Apple and Samsung and Intel and other devices. So we know the device experience, and then we look at the analytics across every hop in the network, even going into the SD-WAN. For example, right behind you, we're doing Thousand Eyes and the Splunk services, and that can intelligently look and tell us if people are getting the experience that they expect.
Yeah,
So
and
how do you think?
for the attendees experience, we are offering OpenRoaming in this venue. So we try to do it in our internal events, but as well in Mobile Congress. And we're growing year after year the number of connections through OpenRoaming. So it's a seamless and secure connection. For us is amazing because we do not have to handle any kind of connectivity issues, let's say, or how to connect to the Wi-Fi. It's directly, they get to the venue and they are directly connected to the Wi-Fi network. And for us, we are getting numbers, we're increasing like 50% every year. So for us is a huge feeling that they don't complain, that they are happy with it. And if not, as said, they can rely on the 5G ALS network that we have already.
The Fira Barcelona did OpenRoaming in a large venue 2 years before anyone else.
Yeah.
So they applied that technology to provide the best user experience. Again, they're leading the way. So this is very helpful for us as we're looking at these technologies, and as the rest of the industry can start to leverage them. But doing this in the Fira, and oftentimes with Tony, Tony, when we first started implementing some of these innovations, I know Tony would look at me and say, "You're going to do what? Where?" And so, yeah, Tony, you're the guy that has to make these things work. What kind of traffic and what are you seeing?
Yeah, at Mobile we got 19,000 concurrent devices, a peak on almost 9 gigabits throughput, and the traffic exchange was 150 terabytes at this time.
Wow, that's amazing. And what are you seeing between different events? Because obviously Mobile Congress is huge in terms of numbers and I would say technical users. Are you able to use the learnings from this to evolve kind of your network and also your IT needs?
For us, this amazing tool is amazing because it helps us for continuous improvement. So we learn from the past congresses to improve the future ones, the ones that are coming.
Moving forward then, how are you going to use what you've learned to kind of build even greater success, especially with the IT?
Yeah, I mean, look, I almost hate to admit it, but we put some of our biggest, I'll call it iron, in at this event, and there's nothing quite like it when people come flooding in that type of rate. And so we push this equipment right to the edge. And so we have our engineering teams back in San Jose and other places in India, around the world, and they are literally on call to see if anything goes awry, we can fix it immediately. And several years ago, as we first started doing DNAC, this was the largest venue that we ever put DNAC in. And after the first day, we pushed it right to the edge. And the engineers gave us a patch that night. And I don't know, Tony, if you slept that night, but we came in the next day and everything was running as smooth as silk. And so we learned what we need to achieve. So it's obviously very beneficial to us, and then we can then do that with other customers that need this technology. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the 5G Wi-Fi integration, because that's obviously so important. we're doing an incredible amount of traffic through Wi-Fi, but we're also doing an incredible amount of traffic through 5G.
Yep.
And so you brought up OpenRoaming,
Yep.
which allows carriers to use their identity to automatically connect to the Wi-Fi network, to extend their network into the buildings, to improve the overall experience and the bandwidth that they can attain, because it's so much traffic to carry. But I know that the Fira is very concerned about sustainability.
Yeah.
And the ability to do those connections using the least amount of power consumption that we can.
It is.
So OpenRoaming is one of those areas. And Mark, I know that for the new building, sustainability is a big deal.
Yeah,
And we want it to be state of the art.
sure.
So a couple ideas.
We are trying to build the most modern building in our industry, at least inside Europe. So in that regard, sustainability is paramount, and we are looking for a stamp of LEED gold. And so in that regard, we will work with all our partners in order to comply with these requirements, which are very, very, very tight and very difficult. And yeah, sustainability, it's compulsory in these days to be state of the art, let's say.
So 15 years. What do you say? 15 more?
Even more.
Yeah, exactly.
We have, let's say, an eco-friendly network, okay? The network can detect that when there is no one on one pavilion, so it can disable all the radios to save energy. And when the pavilions start filling up, they progressively start to enable the antennas. So,
as venue managers, our technical direction has analyzed how many of our power of our yearly power consumption goes apart from the events. Okay, so this means at night, when no event at all, in summer, out of our season, and more than 30% of our power consumption is not productive, is not oriented to our events and to our clients. So try to reduce this 30% of our yearly consumption thanks to many actions, some related to the network, is very important in order to comply with sustainability rules.
Well, thank you, everyone. You've given me a great kind of look behind the scenes. I feel I've looked behind the curtain. So fantastic to hear about how successful the network's been.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.